Welcome to BSc Statistics students. In this lesson, I discuss one of the very important technique, simplex method, the problem of simplex method, in which I am explaining the problem. I am explaining simplex method through a particular problem, problem number 1. This is one of the very crucial method, very important method. Nowadays, it has more importance, right? So now you see here the problem. It is given maximization, some of the constraints, two constraints, and non-negative restrictions. This is what a linear programming problem. It is one such technique of solving a linear programming problem. Previously, we have learned graphical method of solving a linear programming problem. Now we are discussing a simplex method. It is one of the crucial method. Again, I am explaining that. I am specifying that it is one of the crucial and very important method. Don't feel difficulty. Definitely, it will be very simple. If you practice it, definitely, if you understand all the steps one after another, all the steps, definitely it will be very simple. I made it simple, definitely. So you see here now we go through the algorithm. The first step is you have to check whether the objective function is maximization or minimization. I have entered into the problem. The first step is we have to check whether the objective function is maximization or minimization. If not maximization, then we have to convert into maximization. So it is maximization, so I am not doing the procedure. I am not explaining that procedure. So it is maximization problem, so therefore I am leaving. Next, we have to see the right hand side constants, all bi's, whether they are greater than or equal to 0, that is non-negative or not. All are non-negative, greater than or equal to 0, that is positive. So therefore, again for this step also you need not do anything. We have examined. First two steps we have examined. It was okay. So now we are entering into the next step. The next step is introduce slack or surplus variables and convert the inequations of the constraints into equations. That is the next step, next procedure, next step of the simplest procedure. So here less than or equal to constraints. Therefore, we have to use the slack variables. I am introducing one slack variable for first constraint 3x1. I am converting 5 plus 5x2 plus next variable x3 is equivalent to the sum 15. I have left this because you know it that one. And where x3 is greater than or equal to 0 is a slack variable. I am writing here x3 greater than or equal to 0 is slack variable. And for second constraint, the second constraint is also less than or equal to constraints. For converting this inequation of the constraint in the equation, again we have to introduce one more slack variable, that is 5x1 plus 2x2 plus x3 already we have introduced, so therefore I am introducing plus x4, it is equivalent to be 10. So here x4 greater than or equal to 0, it is also slack variable, therefore I am writing where, after converting this, I am writing where x3 greater than or equal to 0 and x4 greater than or equal to 0 are slack variables. For example, we have introduced two surplus variables as well. Introduce x5 greater than or equal to 0, x6 greater than or equal to 0 are surplus variables, write down here, like that. After introducing the slack and surplus variables, what we have to do is one more step you have to do in this particular procedure, in this step, same step. Whatever the slack and surplus variable, put the cost of these slack and surplus variables are zeros in the objective function. So therefore, modified objective function, that is called. So whenever you have introduced modified objective function, that is what I am writing, the terminology here, z is equivalent to be now 5x1 plus 3x2 plus slack variable x3, so therefore 0 into x3 introduced, plus another slack variable x4 plus 0 into x4. That's what we have to do for the objective function. Do you understand? This is what the procedure up to here. Now what we have to do is we have to convert into matrix form. What? Why? Why? Because we have to obtain initial basic feasible solution xb is equal to b inverse b, which are all in matrix. Which are all the terminology are in matrices. So therefore we have to convert. We have to get the matrix form. So I am writing matrix form here. So you simply write matrix form of given LPB, matrix form of the linear programming problem. What is the matrix form? You consider here. So first of all indicating A. What is A? Coefficients of x1, x2, x3, x4. All the variables. The coefficients we have to write in a column matrix as usual, which are represented in the to form Ax is equal to B. For example, I write here the matrix form is Ax is equal to B, in which A is equivalent to B. You see here the first column 3, 5, coefficients are 3 and 5 for x1 coefficients 3 and 5 I am indicating, and the second x2 coefficients 5 and 2, and x3 coefficient 1 and 0. That is the reason why I have left blank this one. There is no x3 here, therefore coefficient is 0. So hence it is 1 and 0. x4 coefficient, there is no x4 here, 0. Coefficient is 0. 0 and 1. So 0 into x4. This is, if you want to write, you have to write 0 into x4. So no need to write, directly you can do it because of mathematical students. You can easily write. Similarly, now come over here. This is what A. I tell you one more important concept of A. What is the important concept of A is later on we have to consider all the coefficients of x1, x2, x3, x4, etc. We consider the one particular vectors as some particular vectors we represent as y1, y2, y3, y4. That is, you see here, it is y1, it is y2, it is y3, it is y4, etc. y1 is coefficient of x, all the values coefficients of x in the entire linear form, the linear form of the inequations or equations, the set of constraints, in the set of constraints. Similarly, y2, the coefficient of x2, it is nothing but you see here 5, 2, coefficient of x3, y3, coefficient of x4, y4. The matrix, it is a vector now. y1 is one vector, y2 is another vector, like and then x, I am writing x here. X is equivalent to B, a column matrix x1, x2, x3, x4, right? And here are, and B, right hand side constant vector, it is 15 and 10. That's we have to write as a right hand side constant vector. This is what the matrix form. You see, now if you multiply with Ax, B, A and X you multiply, this is 2 by 4, this is 4 by 1, then you will get 2 by 1, this is 2 by 1, B is 2 by 1. Clear? So now you multiply 3 into x1 plus 5 into x2 plus 1 into x3 plus 0 into x4 is equal to 15. That is what the equation here. Similarly, the next equation. So this is what whatever the equations we have formed in terms of the matrix. That's all. A, x and B. X, all the variables of x, including slack surplus variables. All variables in the problem now. So originally the problem are x1, x2, remaining all the variables slack variables, and right hand side constants 15 and 10 as usual, no change. Clear? So this is what the matrix form. Now you have to calculate. The next step is you have to get initial basic feasible solution, for which I have to write two particular values. B, first of all, B. What is B? It is basis matrix. It represents basis matrix. So right here it is basis matrix. What is basis matrix? Basis matrix is simply, if you remember, if you recollect the mathematics terminology, basis matrix is nothing but unit matrix. But you have to consider always vector in terms of column vector. Okay, and considering column vector, you see here this is 1, 0 and 0, 1, y3, y4. It represents y3, y4, 1, 0, 0, 1. This is what basis matrix. So what is the order of the basis matrix? How do you decide? I will tell you simple logic behind it. The order of the basis matrix is nothing but how many number of vectors are there in the problem, real problem. Two particular constraints here. So therefore, the two constraints here. Therefore, the order of the basis matrix is 2 by 2. If there are three constraints, 3 by 3, 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. So this is what the reference you have to consider. Number of constraints represents basis matrix B. Right. So this is what the unit matrix, and then again one more particular representation. How many vectors are there in the basis matrix we are representing here? With the help of the basis matrix in the form 1 0. Wherever 1 0 need not be order x3 and x4. You see here x3 and x4 which are in order. For example, it may be x3 and x5. x4 may not be. Or x5 first one, x3 next one. It does not expected, and it cannot be expected, and will only be depends on the problem. It depends on only the problem. So therefore, one should be very clear that 1 0, that is the first matrix of first vector of the basis matrix. 0 1, that is the second matrix, second vector of the basis matrix. So this is the order of the basis matrix. You see, I am explaining in terms of column matrix. In terms of column matrix. Right. So therefore, this is B. B is called basis matrix. So now the initial basic feasible solution is. I am writing here the initial basic feasible solution. After this, I am writing the initial basic feasible solution. Initial basic feasible solution, which is called xb is equal to B inverse B. I'll tell you what is this xb. What is B? 1 0 0 1. It inverse again same. What is small b? Small b is equal to 15 and 10. What is if you multiply these two, what you will get? I will write in another step. So it's equivalent to be 15 and 10. Multiplication. If you multiply with any particular unit matrix, you will get the same matrix. One matrix with unit matrix, A with unit matrix, A into I is equal to A. Right? So now XB. What is XB? XB is nothing but which represents only the variables which are in the basis matrix. Now come over here. The vectors in the basis matrix are y3, y4. y3, y4. The corresponding variables in y3, y4 are x3, x4. Therefore, xb consists of x3, x4. Which corresponding vectors are there in 1 0? 1 0 is belongs to y3. y3 belongs to what is nothing but coefficient of x3. It consists of all coefficient of x3 in all equations of the constraints. Similarly, x4, it is also. It consists of it is corresponding to the vector y4, and so therefore it represents the values of x4. Therefore, x4 in the basis. So x3, x4 is equal to 15 and 10. That means x3 is equal to 15, x4 is equal to 10. It is nothing but initial basic feasible solution. So initially the basic solution, that's what we have discussed in the terminology and the definitions of the various definitions of the linear programming problem. We have discussed very clearly solution, feasible solution, basic feasible solution. Now it is basic feasible solution. Also it is initial basic feasible solution. So now onwards we will get many more basic feasible solutions. Therefore it is called the first solution, first basic feasible solution. It is called initial basic feasible solution. The very first basic feasible solution is called initial basic feasible solution. That is the terminology. x3 is equal to 15, x4 is equal to 15. By solving resulting system, it is nothing but basic solution. By considering x3, x4, 15 and 10 means x1, x2 are zeros. Now I tell you the definition of basic solution again. x3, x4, x1, x2 taking 0, the values are zeros, x1 for x1, x2, and solving a solution of x1, x2 is nothing but basic solution. Okay, I stop here for the basic solution definition. Now this is what the initial basic variable solution is obtained. Now we have to put in the first column of the simplex table. So we have to form the simplex table now. So I am forming the simplex table. So I am leaving this right. I write the simplex table here. I write XB, the initial basic variable solution. X3, X4 is equal to initial basic variable solution. XB is equal to X3, X4 is equal to 15 and 10 we have obtained. You please remember, and then I form the simplex table 1, the initial basic variable solution. So I am removing this and I am writing. I am forming simplex table 1. What is simplex table 1? You see, I am forming the columns CB, YB, of course the only associated values here. And XB starts the simplex table, first column of the simplex table this. This is what the first column of the simplex table. I am drawing two lines here. This is Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4. There are 4 particular columns here. So now I am formulating simplex table which consists of all these vectors, all these values and vectors, and I am indicating the values here z, the value of z here, and zj minus cj. Okay, right? And just I tell you, in 2-3 particular parts, in one class it is not possible to explain. So therefore I take 2-3 classes or 3-4 classes to explain one problem number 1, right? So be patient and listen here. So what is the initial basic variable solution? XB. It is 15 and 10. You have to put in the first column of the simplex table. So that is XB here. 15 and 10. So therefore, this is first column of the simplex table. What about this? Which are associated values, not in the original vector of the simplex table. Original vector of the given problem. Problem lo unde vectors kaavavi. Only associated values. I will tell you what are the associated values later on. Next, what you have to write, how to fill the simplex table 1. So in the simplex table 1, initial basic variable solution we have obtained. We have written in the first column of the simplex table, that is an XB. This is called XB. I read the columns CB, YB, XB, Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4. Since there are 4 vectors are there. Therefore I have written 4. This is CJ, cast in the objective function. I will write again cast function. So this is the value of Z. This is net evaluations Zj minus Cj. I come to the net evaluations. So I put the 4 columns because of the 4 vectors. Right? The cast. What is the cast function? I write the cast function 5x1 plus 3x2. Here it is the cast function. Maximize z is equal to modified objective function 5x1 plus 3x2 plus 0 into x3 plus 0 into x4. Right? So now the cast of all the vectors of y1 is 5. Here you see, you refer this c1 x1. For y2 is 3. This one. For y3 is 0. Y4 is 0. 0, 0. Right? What is y1, y2, y3, y4? Which are 3, 5, 5, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1. 3, 5, 5, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1. Clear? The matrix A. This is matrix A. Remember, in which it is y1, coefficient of x1, y2, coefficient of x2, y3, coefficient of x3, y4, coefficient of x4. So this is the first simplex table, right? In which now we have to write corresponding to YB. What are the values of xb, x3, x4? The corresponding vectors are y3, y4. Remember, in the basis that you have to remember the basis. It also refers basis. Therefore, it is YB. B refer basis. In B, what are the vectors you have? Y3, y4. These are the vectors y3, y4. corresponding to the values, coefficients x3, x4. Values are x3, x4 for x, vectors are y3, y4 for y. So B consists of y3, y4, therefore it is nothing but y3, y4. So this represents, then this represents value of x3, this represents value of x4. That is that you have to remember. If here we have y2, then this is x2. We have, for example, here is y1, then this is the value of x1. The corresponding cost of y3 cost is 0, this is 0. y4 cost is 0, this is 0. So YB, CB are only YB, CB and CJ. These are only the associated values we are representing, that's all. We don't have any concern with regarding the matrix. This is matrix, here to here, this is a matrix. XB, from starting onwards, XB to Y4, this entire thing is called the matrix. So therefore, the first column of the matrix is this, first column of the simplex table is this. That is the reason why he wrote, put in the first column of the simplex table. What is that? Initial basic visual solution. So put in the first column of the simplex table, right? So this is what the first table of simplex table, first column of simplex table. Thereafter, what you have to calculate? You have to calculate two other values, Z, Zj minus Cz. What is Z? It is the formula CBXB. Remember, you write somewhere. And the formula of Z is CBXB. Now you calculate what is CB? CB is this, 0 into 15. XB is this. CBXB. This is CB, this is XB. Multiply vectors. So that means you have to multiply in these forms, 0 into 0, 15 into 10. This is the way you have to multiply. Because vectors, it is also vector. CB is also a vector. Row vector, it is a column vector. This is CB, row vectors, XB, column vector. So 0 into 15 plus 0 into 10. So you need not to go and multiply there by using matrix. Because we have formulated a simplex table. So based on the table we can calculate remaining all the values. 0 into 15, 0, plus 0 into 15, 0. So Z is equal to 0. So what are the Zj minus Cj values? The formula Zj minus Cj, which is nothing but this is equal to CBYj minus Cj. This is what the formula of Zj minus Cj. What is CB? This one. What is Yj? We consider 1 y1. That is we are considering CBY1 minus C1. What is CBY1? Calculate 0 into 3 plus 0 into 5 minus 5. That is minus 5. Plus again 0 into 5 plus 0 into 2, 0, minus 3, minus 3. 0 into 1 plus 0 into 0, minus 0, 0. 0 into 0 plus 0 into 1, minus 0, it's 0. These are called net evaluations. This is only Z. Remaining all, you see. Remaining all net evaluations. I am indicating clearly. Zj minus Cj. Arrow mark. Right? Which are all Zj minus Cj values. Minus 5, minus 3, 0, 0. Which all will be corresponding to y1, y2, y3, y4. Therefore, I have drawn a double line here. You please remember, don't mix with x. These are draw a double line. But matrix starts here. Matrix starts here, xb. Not, we should not exclude xb. We should not leave xb. xb also to be included. Right? So this is what the simplex table 1. Okay. And thereafter I will tell you one more point. So after calculating the net evaluation Zj minus Cj, you have to consider, for example, if all Zj minus Cj, two cases here, if all Zj minus Cj are greater than equal to 0, that is Zj minus Cj are greater than equal to 0, then the solution is optimum solution. Here it is not greater than equal to 0. No, some negative values, minus 5, minus 3. If there are more than any of Zj minus Cj is negative, case 2, any of Zj minus Cj is negative, then you have to go to next step. What is the next step? If there are more than one Zj minus Cj are negative, then consider most negative of them. So how many negatives are there? 2, more than 1. So then you have to consider most negative. Minus 3, minus 5. Most negative is what? Minus 5. So put a arrow mark here. Do you understand? So for most negative, which is most negative? Then you have to know that what you have to do is, for example, minus 5, minus 10. Most negative is minus 10. So you have to consider most negative. If you have only one negative, you have to consider that. So corresponding to this vector, this particular value -5, corresponding vector is y1. Against the this particular arrow marker, -5 belongs to this particular y1 value. So therefore, y1 enters the basis. Enters the basis. So here, hope you understand. Now we have determined after forming this and after calculating net evaluation ZJ-Cj, and if you have more than one negative ZJ-Cj, for example, if you have one particular value is negative, one or more ZJ-Cj are negative, or at least one ZJ-Cj is negative, then we have to go for next step. And the next step is nothing but we have to consider how many negatives are there. We have to examine whether how many negative ZJ-Cj are there. If only one, then we have to consider that. Otherwise, we have to consider most negative of them. In the consideration of most negative of them, we have considered -3, -5. Most negative is -5. The corresponding vector is y1. Therefore, y1 enters the basis. Therefore, this procedure of determining the examining and determining this particular procedure ZJ-Cj, which determines which particular vector enters into the basis. Which particular vector enters into the basis. Hope you understand. I complete. I continue in the next class. I continue the same particular problem in the next one more class, in the next part. Thank you.